This is Mayor Ron Anders with the Mayor's Minutes from our March 16th Auburn City Council meeting. We began the meeting last night by making appointments to 3 different boards: the East Alabama Mental Health Board of Directors, the Auburn Public Library, and the West Pace Village Improvement District Board of Directors. We appointed Ms. Sheila Holmes to the East Alabama Mental Health Center Board of Directors. We reappointed Bonnie McElwain to the Library Board, and we appointed Barry Jones to West Pace Improvement District. Thank all 3 of those individuals for seeking these opportunities. We appreciate your willingness to serve. Thank you to everybody who applied for these positions, and we want to thank everyone that has worked in these boards in times past, and we look forward to your service to the city. We also had a robust discussion about the Wire Road and Cox Road intersection. Those of you that travel in that part of Auburn know that that is a very awkward intersection. There's not another one like it in our city, and I'm not sure I've ever been to a community that had an intersection like that. As Auburn has grown and the pressure on that intersection is mounted, it has become less safe, and we've had some tragedy out there in the last couple of years. We had an agreement with AlDOT to improve that intersection with a roundabout, and frankly, it is not occurring quick enough for us, and we have decided as a city now to take this project on ourselves, and so we will take this project out to bid in the very near future, and hopefully we can deliver a finished roundabout in this area 6 or 8 months before it would have occurred. We believe because of safety reasons that this has risen to the level of importance that we do that. We have the ability to make that happen. We have the resources to make that happen, and this is not going to keep another project from occurring. It's the opportunity we have because we've been good stewards of your money here at the City of Auburn. We appreciate our partnership with AlDOT. We do a lot of great things with them. There are a number of projects going on in North Auburn at 280 and Farmville that are AlDOT related projects. Our partnership with AlDOT is strong. This is just a time that we feel like, because of the situation that's gone on at this intersection and because of the danger that is incurring and because of the development that is coming in this area, that we need to go ahead and take care of this project. So we'll put this out to bid, and ultimately the City Council will have to approve the expenditure, but we had a great discussion. I want to thank Chief Tommy Dawson, the council rep for Ward 8, for continuing to be mindful of the danger of that intersection and making sure that everybody on the City Council and myself and the staff know that he would like to see this happen as soon as possible. Tommy's done a great job. As we got into our regular agenda last night, we began by extending a tax abatement for Donghee, Alabama. This is COVID related. They're going to make a $14 million capital investment and hire up to 10 new jobs. And because of COVID, they've just not been able to complete their work out there. And so the City Council was willing to extend this abatement. We approved alcohol beverage license with Auburn University Hotel for the Googe Performing Arts Center. This is a 5-year permit that allows them to serve alcohol at the Googe events. The events at the Googe Center, I should say. And then we also approved an alcohol beverage license for Rob's Ribs, which will be coming in at 307 North College Street, and this is the former area of Mike and Ed's Barbecue. Very excited to authorize the application that is submitted from the State of Alabama Community Development Block Grant Program, and this is for CARES Act money that came from the federal government that went to the state. The City of Auburn received $750,000. It's really unexpected. And so we had a public format to determine where we would apply those funds, and I'm very excited to say that we're going to apply about 2/3 of them to the food bank, and they've got a great need for equipment, trucks, forklifts, refrigerators, all of those kind of things that you would need to deliver and preserve food. As we all know, during these difficult times, the food bank is needed the most. And the food bank has been a great resource for so many in our community, especially over the last 12 months as times have been very tough. We also will be giving some of this money to people who provide different services for us here in the community, whether it's daycare services or after-school services, and we look forward to them receiving some extra help there. There'll also be some rental assistance and some utility assistance that will go along with this money. All of that information is on the city's website if you'd like to see what that is. The City Council also approved an agreement with the Alabama Emergency Management Agency Association to adopt the East Alabama Regional Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. We are part of a group of municipalities and public safety entities around East Alabama that work in conjunction with each other to make sure that when tragedy happens, when weather-related events happen in our community, that we can come together and provide resources to one another. By signing on to be a part of this plan, this does allow us to access potentially some money from FEMA that would come from the federal government, and so this was really just an administrative process for the city. We approved a pickup truck for Parks and Recreation, which was $55,000. This replaces a very old pickup truck that is really costs more now to maintain than it did to purchase. And we're very excited about this. The City Council approved a Section 108 loan authorization with the Auburn Housing Authority. And this is to redevelop the Ridgecrest Apartments on Donahue Drive. There are 106 units there. Phase 1 is 62 units. Phase 2 will be 44 units. Ultimately, the Auburn Housing Authority will go to the Alabama Housing Finance Authority in Montgomery and apply for tax credit lending to help do this project. But to get to that point, they need some extra help, associated help from the city, and the city can access this 108 loan program through HUD to assist the Auburn Housing Authority in their application. We look forward to their success, hope that they have great success with Alabama Housing Authority. I would encourage all of you to go to our website and see the kind of development that is planned for the Ridgecrest area. It will be a total transformation of what those units will look like, and we're very proud for those tenants that they'll have a great new place to live in. So we wish the Auburn Housing Authority all the best as they apply for this loan, and I want to thank Sharon Talbert for her leadership in this area. She's done a fantastic job. Under ordinances last night, we had a number of stop signs that we passed in 6 different neighborhoods. I will not go through those right now, but this is pretty standard for new neighborhoods to approve these stop signs. They're listed in the city's information about our meeting last night. The City Council approved 3 different ordinances last night that enacts the annual renewal of ad valorem property taxes. The City Council must annually do this with these property taxes that authorizes the Lee County Revenue Commissioner to assess city property taxes. These are not new taxes. They have been around for many, many years. One of these taxes was started in 1948, one in the early 60s. There's 3 different taxes here. One is a city tax for 5 mills, one is a school tax for 11 mills, and there's another school tax for 5 mills. Once again, these are not new taxes, but each year we have to pass this that allows the Lee County Revenue Commissioner to collect these. Under annexations last night, we approved 2 different annexations, one for 2.8 acres, property located at 2425 Lee Road 809, which is Pinewood Place, and then we approved an annexation for 0.88 acres at property located at 2405 Lee Road 809, which is Pinewood Place. City Council took up the short-term rental ordinance last night, and ultimately the City Council approved an amendment that I offered that reinstituted the prohibition of homestays in the neighborhood conservation areas. The City Council approved that amendment 5-3, and then the City Council approved the ordinance which included that amendment 5-3. All the information on this is included on our city's website, and I encourage you to go read all the language involved in this ordinance. It's too much and too detailed for me to explain in this medium right here. This has been a long time coming. Our city has been talking about this for over 2 years. I formed a task force, and I appreciate everybody's participation in that task force. I appreciate the council members who participated in leading that, their appointees. I appreciate all the planning commissioners that were involved in that, and all the public who came to their meetings to discuss this. I want to thank the planning staff who spent untold hours trying to work through a short-term rental ordinance, and the planning commission who also spent a lot of time putting something together and listening to the public. Ultimately, all of these decisions come down to the elected officials to institute laws and rules and policy for a municipality. And that's what the City Council did last night. This is the first time we've ever had an ordinance or had a law, had a policy that governs short-term rentals. I can't look you honestly in the eye and tell you that I think that we've got it all right. But I can tell you there's been a great investment of time and research put into trying to do the best thing for Auburn today. We will continue to reevaluate this on an annual basis and make sure that it doesn't need to be tweaked, and who knows, one day it might need to be overhauled. But for where Auburn is in 2021, as we move forward hopefully to a great football season and a regular fall semester, and all of the world continues to travel and enjoy all the things that we like to do, and Auburn, all of Auburn's experiences are enjoyed by people that live in town and live out of town. that we now have a short-term rental policy that we can hang our hat on. The staff will be working on the implementation of this and how it would actually function. And Mrs. Crouch said, please give the staff at least 90 days to put that together. So we'll continue to work with the staff, helping them implement this, and we'll be communicating that to you. This has been a very passionate conversation. Most of our communication has been really positive, and some of it has been tough to endure. That's the nature of local decision making, is that it really touches the people that you are making the decisions on behalf. So we've done that now. It's time for our city to put this behind us and let's get it implemented. And there's so many other things that the city of Auburn has to look forward to here in the near future as we come out of COVID, as we start preparing for Auburn 2040, as we start having our regular events and our event calendar to be filled with such things going on as the Easter egg hunt and empty bowls and all the things that happen at Kiesel Park and in and around our town, and our downtown events that will happen this summer and into the fall, and then as we hope for football season. There are other great retail announcements that we're looking forward to bringing to you in the near future, and industrial announcements. And there are just great and exciting things that are going on in our city that we have much to be proud of. And now we have a short-term rental policy that we can say exists and we can work towards and work with. And I'm proud and thankful that we've gotten to this point. It was a long 2 years, but I appreciate everybody's efforts to get us here, and now we have one. Under resolutions last night, the City Council approved a performance residential development in the CDD zoning district, and this is called the East Veterans Bungalows. This is property located at 160 East Veterans Boulevard. These are 12 one-bedroom units and 2 three-bedroom units. And then the City Council tabled a performance residential development in the redevelopment district last night called the Martin Avenue Townhomes. This property is located at 456 Martin Avenue. The City Council decided to table this last night, and we'll take this up at our April 6th meeting. The City Council approved a conditional use for community housing services, and this is for the Ridgecrest Redevelopment. This property is located at 945 North Donahue Drive. This is Mayor Ron Anders with the Mayor's Minutes. Have a good week.